We got plenty of water, whatever. Oh, I'm just sitting here staring at our statistics to find out exactly what Astrid has been up to, and we seem to have spent a reasonable amount of time in all the new spots. Hello everybody, this is Frogman. Welcome back to the Long Dark and our, I don't know what we're going to call it now, Tales from the Far Territory character is what I've been saying for a while, and I think what we're going to do, at least for right now, we're still going to play with the Tales, mainly because we still have a couple of things we need to get done. And we're going to do a little bit of experimentation, just at least for a minute here. Astrid is going to walk back to our what I'm going to call my summer home, or at least the place where we go and spend the majority of our time. As far as the rest of the way this goes, we are in what I call endgame time. We're in endgame time. We're you know, over almost halfway to 500 days, almost. You know, like 20 days we'd be there, and 20 days is nothing. So you're in that point in time where you've done all of the things, we've wandered around all over the world, we've spent, well, because of the way this one worked out, we didn't spend a lot of time in certain zones like I normally would, because we were in a rush and a hurry to get this person started over. Because we died going into the area after I'd already spent, I forget how many days doing some stuff. So I was just kind of looking at a couple of things, just trying to see some of the statistics that we've done. And yeah, I just wanted to know. So the reason why I'm kind of interested here is the days in Sundered Pass, right here, were 29 days. So 29 days, and approximately, I believe it's approximately 25 days or so. I think it's 20 on interloper. Of not consuming anything that has vitamin C in it. The player will start to get the risk of scurvy risk. Now, you can get rid of it by consuming things that have vitamin C in it. However, we haven't got any major amount of stuff around us that has vitamin C, and so we're at a 40% scurvy risk. Now, I've consumed a couple of things. I mean, we do have a very I've been playing other games, so please, by all means, excuse me for not being able to remember what I'm doing. We have the only reason why I did that is because that shows me what's here. The reishi teas, and I believe the, can I just do this? So, rosehip teas are going to give us a small amount of it. Reishi teas are going to give us a small amount of it. Plus, I do believe some of the foods that we already have, especially stuff that might have peaches and whatnot, peaches and rose hips and things, stuff we've already created, crafted, wherever, those should also have some things, as well as fish. So moderate right there, pancakes none, coastal fish cakes, which is silly because fish are probably going to be one of the most renewable ways to get vitamin C. So this is interesting. Bannock, acorn pond, come down here a little bit. Peach pie, minor, prepper's pie, moderate. Ptarmigan, of course, won't have anything in it. This will have some. The biggest problem is the long-running term of trying to deal with a scurvy related character is that eventually you're going to run around and you run out of all the easy stuff. So what do you do then? And we're kind of at that point where I'm pretty certain there's a fair amount of flour still left somewhere in a couple of places. And this character was born before the country cooking update happened. This is a custom, so that means there's certain things we're not getting right now. But again, she'll have a few things that some of the other, that we wouldn't have normally had, which unfortunately means that there might be some spots we may have to go back and revisit. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to march our silly butts back to, and I'm so in love with the lower Great Bear right now. It's ridiculous. Look at the temperature, look at the time of day, and look at the temperature. It's barely cold out here. And with that torch, we should be able to get a long ways. We're going to, and I know this might get boring, we're going to walk our way back to the Pleasant Valley Farmhouse, where we have all of that food. We're currently at a 40%, 41% scurvy risk. I don't have any form of stuff outside of the rose hips that will allow us to gather up or at least remove some of that. So I'm interested to see. I woke up this morning at when she woke up, it was 41% or 40%. We've gained 1% in the amount of time since she's woken up. I'm going to take the long walk from here to Pleasant Valley. Well, we're going to actually decide whether or not we're going to walk through. I'm pretty certain we checked the majority of everything in Milton. I was going to say we can go to Mountain Town and wander around up there. The thing, like I said, I'm kind of wanting to experiment and explore with here is that if you are one of those that are crazy enough to play with scurvy on a long run loper, meaning you've already been dealing with this, you've already been dealing with this problem. We're just now experiencing it after the last 30 days in game, so to speak, 30, 40, 30, 32 days, whichever way it's going to be. We're just now experiencing this problem. Which means we would have probably already eaten a fair amount of the stuff that would have provided us sustenance to remove, to aid in the vitamin C. So our rose hips and our reishi teas and fish and whatever else would have been given to us. My question really is, and maybe it's something that I should try to do, is at what point in time does late game interloper start now? Because if I can only go 20 some odd days, that's not a whole lot of time to explore areas. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I'll have to go look at the numbers and see. I know that other people have experimented with this, and it's kind of one of those things that I'm not really concerned about it as to speak. Just go. I'm not really worried about it because, again, this character is not going to be doing too much longer. We will probably spend a little bit of time when the next update drops, which I'm assuming is going to be the trader and probably the big cat. I bet you they'll wait that long now to put that cat back in, and will be, I'm hoping very much, base customization, because that's one of the things that I do really, as long as I've been playing this game, for as long as I've played it, there are certain things that I wish I could just do in certain, areas. Like, I'd love to be able to take the chairs that are laying on the floor and stand them back up and put them against a table or a wall instead of breaking them down. I'd love to be able to clear off countertops of all the garbage that's laying around on some of the countertops in some of these, the rooms that you're in all the time. I'd love to be able to just, I'm not one of those people that like to decorate. I mean, I do like to decorate. I do love to do things. But there's nothing more annoying to me than a chair laying down on the ground that I could literally just pick it up and stand it back up and get it out of my way. And be able to actually stack stuff on countertops and, just make things look better than they currently do. And it's not something that is currently available in the game. So hopefully with the base customization, they'll give us that ability. So we're just gonna kind of, I guess, wander and see what goes. I mean, maybe we have a little, I don't know what we're gonna do. Again, I need to get to a point where we have a reasonable amount of food, and I know that there is plenty of food in that particular house. Can I have a torch, please? That should allow us to survive a couple of days. But I'm really wondering what's going to happen with something like this. Because, like I said, this is late game loper, as far as I'm concerned. This is, mid-game is, mid-game, early game loper is getting from your spawn point to a place where you can get, I mean, I hate to say it, early game loper is literally getting from your spawn point to a safe place and getting a fire lit. That's literally early game for me. Getting to that point where, you've got safe place and you can start kind of, understanding what's left. Once you can get through that beginning little part of, oh my god, I've got no clothes on. I mean, I would say, as far as that goes, depending on how your skill level is, early game might be going so far as to say, gathering matches, fire, tools, clothing to cover all parts of your body, a bedroll, and getting headed towards a forge. That's early game. That's early game for me. So, and next. Mid-game, as far as interloper is concerned, is taking those tools, those parts, building a bow, you know, just gearing up, getting all the gear up, getting all your clothing, getting regions explored, getting stuff picked and found. And, you know, once you get through all that spot, like say you get all of the regions, I kind of say that mid-game is once you get all of your gear and all of the regions explored at that point in time. We're just saying vanilla, not with the DLC and all that kind of stuff. Once you get all of that done, then you're done with mid-game, and then you're into the late game, where it's the late game grind of how am I going to continuously keep this person alive long enough. And so we've visited all of the regions, we've kind of played around with all the things that we could have played around with, and now we're starting that, what I would, like I said, call the late game grind, where you're trying to figure out how to keep yourself entertained long enough to make it to that, like say 250 days or the 500 days. You know, I did 500 days on interloper, and I mean, I've probably got a collective, amongst the amount of interlopers that I've played over the years, probably close to 1,500 days in various interlopers. But I just, like, I get to this point where it gets boring for me, because it's like, well, now what do? You wander around and you slowly kind of just, you know, nomad your life all the way across the world, and it's kind of one of those deals that's where it gets a little boring after a while, is, you know, for an average person, not an insane person like me, you get bored with the game, and I can see where a lot of people do get bored with the game. So part of the fun is now, especially with the DLC being as big as it is, you can get quite a ways and do a few things, and it's fun because now we have this ability to, well, when you get bored, you go back out there and go play with some of that stuff. It's like I said with the last one, where you can kind of live in that particular zone for a really long time. Did I leave my frying pan? It doesn't matter. We don't need it. We're at this point now where I'm not really worried about it. I am going to make one of those and bring it all the way down, mainly just so we can get a little bit of stay on this. So I bet we were 41, and I need to go here. So that dropped it considerable. Okay, so one of those will drop it quite a ways, and that'll also warm us right up. So if I do that and then warm us up again, we can now pick it up. We're fine. I'm just kind of doing a little bit of derping here because we're going to go and probably just be straight back to a couple of places. And since I have this torch fire, or this Maglins fire that I've had for a while, I want to now hit, just grab one. We're fine. We're in the land of plenty. I hate to leave a fire like that, but it's fine. We'll go kind of along like this. But anyhow, as kind of going on along with this is, what do you do after a period of time? And I mean, that even goes with the same thing with this. Kind of the reason why I quit playing Stalker was because Stalker, you were not forced out of the regions fast enough, in my opinion, in my little humble opinion. They didn't make stuff scarce enough for you to make you want to go explore. At least for me. I had a lot of fun doing various areas and, you know, just kind of wandering around. But every time you jump into a new zone, there'd be food enough for, you know, a month or more, and clothing and stuff. And yeah, it's sure fun to find all of the parts, pieces, things. But if you're not being forced to leave the zone because you're full of food and clothing and whatnot, you know, just an area, that gets really boring after a while too, because you're not being forced to move. Kind of one of the reasons why I play Interloper is because of the scarcity of the resources pushing me into other areas. And that's kind of why I find the charm in this game as far as this is concerned, because it's forcing me to go do things. I mean, I guess I could be a big boy and force myself out of something if I wanted to play Stalker, but this is more of my style, at least in the way things work, and I think that's a big problem. And again, as far as trying to get to late game, or what I say late game, 500 days on Stalker, or heaven forbid on Pilgrim, wow, I mean, I don't even know. And to be fair, I think Pilgrim is actually, in some respects, harder than Stalker is, because, when you do get to that point where you've eaten all of the food in the world, animals run away from you. All of them do. Every single one of them do. I mean, not just the deer. The wolves run away from you. Bears run away from you. It's not like in the higher tiers of difficulty where bears, wolves will chase you down. Moose will run away from you unless you really make them mad, I'm pretty certain. So it is kind of an interesting thought. But we're going to see. So we drank we're back up to 30. Wow, that actually climbs pretty quickly. I wonder if it's a % an hour. I mean, if that's the case, then does it play like Cabin Fever does, where you really have to spend like a day or two outdoors to get any amount of use out of the resetting of the meter? If it's a % an hour, we don't need anything in here. Wow, it was actually warm in there. Neat. Okay, cool. If it's a % an hour, that's harsh. I believe cattails have it too, right? Moderate. So we are at a, what is this, 30%. Eat one of them. 29. That did a %. That's amazing. Yeah, I think, I mean, I really hate to say it, I think that's probably gonna be, it's gonna make late game interloper incredibly boring, because, you know, cattails are like emergency food. They're travel food as far as it goes. You're not gonna be chowing through those things, and I can 100% see, you know, even T's just playing regular everyday interloper, wandering around doing things. They're more important to you for your warmth than they are for that kind of thing. So I understand you're trying to keep things moving, but if I'm chewing through all of those resources way early game, then late game interloper is literally going to be just sitting around any old fishing hut, gathering, you know, coal and whatnot, and fishing, and just stacking fish upon fish, and eating fish, because fish is easy to get a hold of as far as a renewable type resource. So it might be one of those things that's going to get really boring late game. I mean, what I do when I get bored, you know, how I managed to make 500 days is I would literally just go from baseable area to baseable area, you know, an area that had, like, you know, we'll just say, for example, poachers. There's a lot of sticks right here, and there's actually, I should say poachers. The cave that's behind poachers over there, and the cave that's over there by the, and now I should say not necessarily the cave, but the bunker that's behind Spence, makes it for an area where what you can do is you can go in and you set yourself up. I tried to do around 20 days, and I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I tried to set myself up around 20 days of water and starvation food, and then wood and whatnot. You know, like just go run around, gather sticks, and pick up logs, and do those kinds of things. But I try to do that in several different locations in each zone, and just doing that one little thing in every single zone ended up giving me, like, you know, 40 or 50 days in every zone, or 30 or 40 days in every zone. And you just do that. You just move from one spot to one spot to one spot, you know, areas where you would, you know, be able to stay a few days, and just set those up so that you could have lots and lots and lots of, you know, resources should you need to. And then what you do after that is you move to the next zone, or you move to the next spot, and just repeat that over and over and over again. And if you got bored, what you could do, if you got bored with that, is what you could do is then you could go back to the beginning wherever you started and spend just a couple of days in that building or whatever it is in one of the areas, or go to one of those little safe areas that you had and just spend a couple of days, you know, just enjoy a couple of days, and then realize that you used some of your resources and replenish them, and then move on to the next place. It's kind of like, you know, because of the fact that Interloper has so much, and I guess I need you guys now, so much force of needing to, didn't want to throw it on the ground, so much of needing to continuously keep things stocked up or moving, that when you do finally have that kind of a resource pile sitting somewhere, it's really, really, really kind of nice. So yeah, I guess we're going to be gathering all of these up now. God dang it. Fine. One thing I really, really, really wish is that they would fix that particular bug, because it's so annoying. If I pick that torch up, I'll have the sound of the torch laying against the ground all the time, and if I do this, like I said, if we just walk away, the torch is a lot quieter. It's a bug I really, really, really wish they would fix, because it's annoying. It's like, you know, flares, how loud and annoying they are. We're actually warming up. I love it. This is the reason why I wanted to come back. I got so tired of freezing to death. The entirety of the Forsaken Airfield, entirety of the Far Territory is so stinking cold that you just can't stay warm. I mean, right now I can probably put that torch out, and let's look. Yeah, I could put the torch out and still be warm. Meaning, I wouldn't have to worry about it. It's kind of a deal. You build all this stuff down on, you put all these clothes on, you put all this other things in, and we're actually to a point now in the lower Great Bear that during portions of the day, I'm warm and I'm not having to consume resources outside of calories to stay warm. Which is what I love. But I think we'll pop into camp office real quick. We might be getting a snowstorm or we might not. And then we're going to run down to the dam. We might take the ridge over because I haven't seen a birch bark tea in, like, I don't know, 40 days. I forget how long it's been. I need to go back and actually look, because I'm quite certain we ran out of birch barks when we were in the contaminated zone. So I'm quite certain at this point in time we haven't seen a birch bark tea in forever and ever and ever and ever. I am so looking forward to being able to go, you know, hit up a birch bark forest or a birch forest and pick up a whole bunch of birch bark, because we haven't seen it in ages, it feels like. I mean, I was half thought of just getting out of certain. I contemplated leaving before we started this portion of the series back over. I contemplated leaving the. Man, I can't for the life of me think right now. Leaving Transfer Pass and going and getting a bunch of goodies. Good, we do have a little bit of food. I would like a full steak, please. Thank you. Oh, you're fine. But we have a lot of accumulated things that I want to bring along with us. And we'll see what happens. Let's go in here. I don't... Okay, we do have plenty of things to cook. Give me torch. Before I lose torch. Okay. So... Oh, and I have a lot of lantern fuel, too. And stuff. And things. Okay. How much is in you? You are most of the way full. You are all the way full. Yoink. Yoink. That stuff can stay. How heavy are we right now? We are not awful. Okay. I'm going to grab all of that, and then we're going to keep walking. Hopefully the weather will hold out a little bit. I do want to walk clear over to the dam before I put her to bed, hopefully. We got plenty of water, whatever. I should go hack up some birds. I think they're not there. Are they? No. So we're going to take the upper path. I know, it's terrible. It's, you know, snowing. But we'll take the upper path up here. For those of you that have never done this, you can take this kind of a little walkaway. There's not necessarily a path, but it's a way to get up and around the top of this area where the wolves tend to hang out. And ever so slightly every once in a while, on the very top side of it, there is some birch bark. Maybe. But you gotta kind of be careful because you'll end up with a sprained ankle. Maybe. Come on. Go around the corner over here and look down and see if there's anybody. Sound like they're here today. Yes, I know. There we go. Okay. Just trying to make sure we don't end up with a broken ankle. Yep, there it goes. I knew it was coming. Knew it was coming. Somehow I still have a torch though. Somehow we still have a torch. I don't know how. The spot's up there. I knew that was coming. I don't know how I still have a torch. That's crazy. I have no idea how we still had a torch.
Come on, come on.
Still have a torch. Still have a torch. Magic torch. I don't know what the heck is going on. There it goes. Finally. Alrighty then, I wanted to go get some birch bark. Maybe we try. Hopefully there's no moose. Oh, you'll be fine. Be numb all you want. Yeah, we'll just stay on the tracks. I know where I'm at, but... pretty sure we got everything in here. Yeah, except for that book. Don't need the book. Sitting there talking about birch bark and not happening. Hopefully we don't have a doggo just jump up on us. He'll be right in here somewhere if he is. That's that was every day in the far territory. Every single day. No Wolfie? Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know about the, I keep saying that about the animals that are supposed to despawn when this happens. It kind of makes me wonder if that's a thing that happens anymore, so I'm kind of paying attention and trying to listen at the same time. I don't see anything. Alright. The dam we go. Yikes.
Not sure I can carry much more.
I think you're fine, Astrid. Alright, so we did leave a bunch of stuff laying around. Oh my, that's full. Oh boy. Oh, you know what I did? I screwed up. I had all that lantern fuel sitting at camp office, and I didn't pick none of it up. Didn't pick any of it up. You guys come here. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know how heavy that's gonna make us. Now we're getting a little heavy. We might have to use the thing. And there's all the rest of my stems. And 102 matches. Beautiful. Alright, I'm gonna sit in and do a little bit of goofing here and make sure we have everything set up ready to go. And then we'll be leaving out of here, headed to Pleasant Valley here very shortly. I want to get over those before the night's over with, just in case something happens. All we've got on us right now is cattails and a couple of things, but I did go ahead and sort some of the stuff and bring it with us. Again, this is kind of my storage room area that I like to use occasionally, just because it's a kind of what I would consider the midway point between all of the vanilla zones. But I would like to get over all of this before I put her to bed. So we'll go down here.
This bag is getting kind of heavy.
I know it's getting kind of heavy, but that's okay. Antiseptic don't need. And the storm is still raging. What's in here? Random garbage. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was a wasted match. I don't really care. We're gonna put her to bed right here. And then we're gonna run out the door in the morning. Hopefully. Oh, I didn't bring enough water. Well, whatever. No matter. No difference. No big deal. I thought I grabbed one. Whatever. Let's we'll put her to bed real quick, and then we'll go out the door as soon as she wakes up. And I'm gonna go and plunk. So I brought a bunch of this other stuff that we've had laying around. I should drink that, but it's fine. Let's go out the door.
I would drink almost
Oh,
anything
you're
about now.
fine, my dear. It's gonna be a little dark, but I'm gonna go over to the cave over here. I think we had... I almost always leave various things in that cave, and even then, it's not that terrible to be out wandering around right now. So we'll just keep pushing. She's got me concerned that I'm concerned what's gonna be like 60% by the time we get to the farmhouse. And I mean, I've got teas and whatnot to source the problem, but like, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, I could easily have probably taken care of it by stopping and fishing in the fishing huts at Mystery Lake, but I would like to do a little bit of experimentation, because your early game is going to be based off of the fact that you can cook some of these meals And then your late game is going to literally be about you trying to just find a thing that's continuously renewable and working on with that. Which is why I'm kind of saying or thinking that the scurvy mechanic is incredibly crippling and broken. Because, well, normal humans, at least normal us humans, you don't even necessarily have to have vitamin C in your, you don't have to take supplements. You don't have to think about it because the majority of the food you eat has vitamin C in it. To include, if you are a meat eater or if you're not a vegetarian, if you're an omnivore like 90% of the people in the world, I mean, I know that's probably terrible for me to say, but consuming vitamin C is not one of those things that goes away once you harvest an animal and cook it. It's still in their tissues. So you accumulate it by eating and digesting that food. I know it's kind of gross, but I don't take supplements to keep the vitamin C up in my body. And I don't get scurvy. Now, I understand that that's a thing. I do really, really understand that's a thing. But eating a bear that is, out wandering around, at least if I were to eat a bear in this particular state, that bear would be reasonably high in, at least right now, fairly high in vitamin C, because that bear has been doing nothing but eat. We have water in here, berries and fruits and things and stuff like that. So I don't have any water in here. Beautiful. That's kind of why I'm saying it's a little...
I would drink just about anything right now.
It's a little not exactly the way it should be, but okay. We're gonna keep going. I'm not worried about her. She'll be fine. And this is to say, there's a lot of vitamin C and a lot of things that they're not saying is vitamin C here. So it's just kind of one of those deals. But I'm like walking through the dark.
I can't feel my feet.
Alright, down to the river. Oop, nope, pushed auto walk. Woo. It's alright, a woo. Okay, and then I'm gonna probably just... I think we can walk through this one. I don't remember. We'll just pass time. I've got a couple of things. I'm, again, not really concerned about her and her water intake. Water's like 1% an hour. Unlike the cold, which is insane. So, I know, it's terrible. We'll pick up that stick. And then, yeah, we'll just kind of take a nap in here.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
You don't have to carry much more for right now. We're just gonna take a nap for a couple hours. Pick that up and do the dirty. I know it's bad. I'm not worried about her. She'll recover this very quickly. I still have some water? How have I got any water? Or is this the buggy water that doesn't work? Oh, hey, we do have a... I just saw it. Have one of those. Oh, that's probably not going to help at all. Minor. Yeah, it didn't help much at all. Okay, it wants to eat the cattails. I don't want to lose. Well fed. Okay, and I think this cave we can walk through for the most part, so we'll just do it. Boink.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Yeah, it's terrible, I know. It's awful. You just gotta get through here to there and then get to the other side. I'll probably drop a bunch of junk. Oh, you know what I should be doing? I should be picking up coal. Huh. Come on. Don't see any. This room might have some coal in it. Maybe.
I need a drink.
I know. I do too. Oh, you mean water. Never mind. Sounds like we have another blizzard. We're getting ready to walk into Blizzard Valley, so what do you expect? Alright, do the thing. There's a room right in here. There's one. And where is it? There. I'm being cheap on my matches, even though I know I don't need to. Cheap, 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 cheap. There's usually at least one or two right in this little room, but I guess, whatever. Onwards. Do not fall off the log. Sorry this is dark again. I'm being a little cheap on my light. I gotta go that way. All right. Where's the exit? Come on. There they are. Usually don't do that too much, but it's one of those.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
I think we might. We might drop a few of those. Cool. Okay. Now, I think we're just gonna go. We have plenty of time. Let's just go straight for the farmhouse. Hopefully, well, I'm gonna go for the river. Go for the pond over here. We're gonna go to Pensive Pond real quick. I should have dropped that stuff off because that's the place we're probably going to be able to catch a few things, literally. How good is my fishing skill now that I think about it? That is where. Not great. We're gonna walk over here, and I'm probably gonna throw this coal down over here. At least for right now, some of it. We'll put like 4 or 5 pieces down. I should have put the sticks down, but I didn't. And then we'll go over to the farmhouse and end it. Because there should be food on the table that will provide us with a complete respite, or respite, whatever, respite for this problem. Relief. Relief, I guess, is a better word. Yoink. And I see we still have some ratios up here. Good deal. Alright, let's see. I think... Don't run too much, but yeah, we've been here and I didn't leave anything important. Good. Drop everything except one, and then drop like that much there, because we'll be coming back. I guess I haven't been here. I thought I had been here. Alright, we'll be coming back for sure with this character. Whether or not that's going to happen in this episode, well, in this episode, anytime soon. Because we're going to go over the hill and head back down to the farmhouse. I'll leave those sitting right there. But I will take your feathers. It's kind of a long walk, and we'll probably do a few things to make it a little shorter, but it's so much warmer. I mean, I know we're still freezing, but it's so much warmer here. Used to hate this zone. Used to absolutely hate this zone. I have a new appreciation for Pleasant Valley now. Absolutely new appreciation for this. This is super simple, super easy. The only thing you have to deal with in Pleasant Valley is the blizzards, which happen a little bit more often. But other than that, it isn't bad at all. Yoink. Okay. And don't hurt yourself. Oh, if we're lucky, there'll be anything in this house over here in a little bit. It's so quiet and peaceful. And I give it about 5 minutes. And it won't be. Maybe. Oh, we're gonna get some music. How nice. I don't see Senior Bear. I didn't think we picked these either. Okay. Alright. Now don't make the mistake of immediately picking something up and eating it, but there they all are. I did leave it all outside. Okay. Major. Why is there a feather here? Okay, whatever. Let's see. We have moderate,
Trees, 'cause I'm gonna.
moderate, moderate, 0, because there's nothing in that should have anything in it. Nothing in that should have anything in it, and ranger stew, moderate. So out of those things, in the next episode, we're going to test and see which one is going to help us out the most with that. So I will see you all next one. Thank you so much for watching. I know this might be a little long. We're going to do a little bit more experimentation, but we'll see what happens. So see y'all later. Bye.